Salute to you all. The brave never fall. One of the things that makes up the brave never fall is being bold. It's one of the most important things I have learned to incorporate into my current version of myself. Coming from a place of not being bold at all, it's one of those things where it has so many different meanings and can be applied to so many different situations and so many unique people that being bold can be something that can often be looked upon as a negative. There is a such thing as being too bold, and you have to excuse outside noises. I'm outside again, which I like to do this a lot, so you may hear all kinds of things in the background, but I always felt like outdoors is the best way to record some of these, especially when we're just talking. You know when you've been bold or not. It's not a word you hear a whole lot. People often like to use that word when it comes to sports, when it comes to competition, when it comes to a fight, an argument, a disagreement, anything that requires some type of combative argument, disagreement, opposing views, politics, things like that. Things where no matter what's going on, you can tell when somebody's gone a little bit too far and perhaps has said something that may seem brash, may seem over the top, may seem arrogant, overconfident. But at the same time, you look at these people and you say, well, what is it about them that made them get to that point where they felt like they could say that and get away with it? And we're not talking about saying things to people that tears them down and saying things that are bold just because you're protected by someone or someplace. You know, you're a boss. You can be bolder when you're a boss than you can if you're just a regular employee, or you could be bolder when you're a parent talking to your kid. Those are different scenarios. We're talking about equal ground here. We're talking about you, your equal ground. Let's take everyone else out of the equation for the moment. Let's focus on you. How bold do you think you are when it comes to situations that are important to you? How bold do you believe you actually are when it comes to situations that are important to you? How bold are you when it comes to people that are important to you? We're talking about importance at this point. We'll get to the unimportant part and how bold you can be with that in a moment. But right now, let's focus on the things that are important in your life. How bold are you when it comes for you standing your ground, putting up your boundaries, and saying, I'm going to be bold about who I am to this person, this place, and this thing? Whatever it is, fill in the blanks of those three things. And ask yourself that question. Do you find yourself to be bold when you not only have to be, but when you need to be? Sometimes you can feel like I have to be bold here and you can't muster up the strength. And it's even worse when you know you need to be. Do you want to be? And should you be? That's a lot that comes off of one word, bold. You know it when you see it. You can look at other people and you say, how can this person be so daring? They're just out here making their decisions. They're doing what they want to do. They don't even seem like they have a game plan. They're just out here being adventurous and daring, and they're being bold. They're saying what they want to say. They're believing in what they want to believe in. If they have a disagreement, they can walk away with their head still up high. They're getting stuff done. They're disciplined. They seem like they're full of purpose and priority. Everyone seems to gravitate towards these people. And then you look at yourself and you say, why don't I have that same courage? Why can't I be the person that can be as bold as this person? Especially if you look up to that person. We all have a person where we look up to someone. We may not even know them that well, but they just have these attributes about them that fill in the blanks of some of the things you have trouble with. And being bold is something I had to learn. It was not something that I was born with. It's a skill I took on. And it goes back to a place of confidence, positivity, and being decisive and assertive in your beliefs, who you are as a person, and what your purpose is in this life. What do you have to offer in value to yourself first, then to the outside world and everything that comes along with that? Confidence is the big key here. How do you gain it? You got to take some steps back and you got to find your center. You have to balance your center, and you have to start with love, the love of yourself. Everything, in my experience, has started with me. If I'm not right, everything else is wrong. In my world, in my path, my journey, I am the only one who can walk this certain path that I'm walking. I can invite as many people as I want. There is not enough room. Not everyone can come along with you, so you have to pick and choose the ones that are special enough to walk alongside you. And unfortunately, their path is not really connected to yours. There is a little gap. You look down, there's a little gap. That it could be a millimeter across from you, but there's still a little space. They're not completely on your path, which requires you to know at any moment in time that person can veer off in a different direction, and you are left alone with you. Being bold, to me, starts with self-love, valuing yourself, and having the confidence, the positive energy that is going to require for you to be able to stand up against anything in life. But it has to start in your heart. It has to start in your heart. It has to start in your mind. And you have to know who you are, or it does not work. You have to know who you are. And if you don't know who you are, you have to at least have some sort of vision of where you would like to be. The person you need to create for yourself to be able to get to a point where you can be daring and courageous. Be full of confidence. Fear is an important part of this as well. I feared a lot of things in life, and there's nothing wrong with fear. Fear is very useful. It's an extremely useful tool to overcome things in your life and for you to be bold enough to accept and face the challenges ahead of you. Fear is something that will rip you apart. Fear is the thing that causes us all that anxiety we have, why we can't sleep, why we're shaking like a leaf on a tree for some of the things that we know. Why am I shaking so bad? I know I shouldn't be feeling like this. Why am I shaking? Why am I so afraid to walk out my door this morning? Why am I so afraid of that next month that's coming up on that calendar? Why does this person make me so nervous when they walk into a room? The goal is to be unafraid of things that are dominating your mind enough to affect your heart and your soul, to make you an incomplete, unbalanced, uncentered person. That fear that you have, the thing that you cannot seem to overcome, that is holding you back. And it was something oh my goodness, I can't tell you how long I lived in fear. I never shared it with anyone. I could fake it. I could fake fear so well. Got me nowhere because it wasn't who I was. I wasn't bold enough to accept the fact that I had an issue, a serious issue that I needed to get fixed, or otherwise all these things I hated about my life. And I hate to use that word, but I want to use it again. I hated certain things about my life, and they were, for the most part, based on fear. They started, the baseline thing that I was standing upon was fear. I was even afraid to get rid of fear. The things I knew that could possibly work, I was afraid to go towards that. Fear just consumed me for a long period of my life. But I came out of it. I started realizing the people that I looked up to, it didn't matter how big of a task was ahead of them, how daunting the people were around them, how intimidating the people were around them. They just kept going. Didn't matter. They were confident in themselves. They had the audacity to look at everyone else who were over there, groups of people, and say, I'm perfectly fine with standing over here by myself. I'm bold. You guys need the comfort of all of your beliefs. You guys need to be tethered together and trying to hop back and forth from each other's paths, picking each other's paths when it's convenient for you, whichever path is more comfortable, where I'm over here alone. I started looking up to people who had the audacity to do that. And people will look at you and say, you're awfully audacious. You're just going to be over there by yourself? Aren't you lonely? My answer to that is, hell no, I'm not lonely. How can you be lonely when you're experiencing so many new things and meeting so many new people? I always felt like the loneliness came when you're around people and you were in hollow relationships. You were in a job that's going nowhere that you don't like. You're in a house that is falling apart and there's nothing you can do about it. To me, that's loneliness because you don't want to be there. You're not comfortable with who you are at that point. There's things that you want better in your life. I think it's audacious to think that other people shouldn't want better for themselves. It's audacious for someone to think, who do you think you are for wanting to be different and better and unique and help other people? And have self-love for yourself and have that confidence. Where did you get that from? They're thinking that because they don't know how you got it and they want it. But it's so much easier to kind of fall back on what's comfortable and say, I'm not really sure how you got that confidence. I would love to have it. But I'm not comfortable with that journey you took to get it. I'll just stay over here with all these people. They give me confidence because whenever something goes wrong, I have all these people to help me. What they're not realizing is that there's nothing heroic about standing with all the other people that are helping you stand up. What's heroic is when you can say, I can be over there anytime I want. I can always walk over to these people. I can mingle with them. I can talk to them. I can learn from this guy, this guy, and this guy. But ultimately, I'm going to step back. I'm going to get back on task. I'm going to get back on purpose. I'm going to keep walking forward. I don't have time to sit and mingle with all those people for too long because I still have more learning to do. I have more things I need to see. I have to better myself. There's a vision of myself on the horizon that I'm walking towards. That's being heroic. Walking the path, seeing other people who need help, sharing your experiences to help other people, being the best person you can be, bringing value to everybody who is important in your life, and giving back that positive energy to people who have invested in your life and is giving you the same. That's being heroic. That's being bold. That's being audacious and courageous, fearless. You don't give a damn what anyone else thinks. It's your path. It's your life. So you keep walking it. Leave to other people how decisive they want to be with their lives. If they're sitting back and saying to themselves, I'm cool. I'm good. That's their life. They can do whatever they want. They've made their decisions. What's the most important thing for you to do is to understand that the decisions made around you, what you see, you can learn from that as well. And that's what being bold is all about, is that you're always observing and sinking all into your body, all the information you can get. You just sink in all of it. You just take on all that energy. And you filter out all the negative energy. Observing other people and communicating with people you never communicated with and getting to know, learning new things, but getting to know new people who have learned so much is very, very important. Because walking the path is one thing. If you're walking aimlessly and there's nothing going on around you, then walking the path alone gets you nowhere. You want to walk a path and look around you and say, look at this group of people. They look like a positive bunch. I'm not going to make sure that if I don't have these people, I can't survive. But I'm going to stop and talk to them real quick, pick up some knowledge, and I'm going to keep walking. I'm not leaving them behind. If they're the right type of people, they're walking pretty much the same direction you are. They're looking at the horizon just like you. You've contacted them. Their spirit, their essence is never going to go away from you. They've imprinted on you. All that positive stuff. You can lose sight of it at any point in time. Nobody says just because you gain knowledge, you won't lose the knowledge. You have to keep working on it. You have to keep revisiting what you've learned. In order to get skills, you have to keep working at it. You can't just give up on it and say, I've learned enough. I'm done. You have to train your mind and your body and your heart constantly. It's no different than training for any type of sport, going to school and learning how to be better at whatever trade you're in. You have to keep learning. So getting rid of the people in your life that are positive is a mistake. You don't have to talk to them every day. You don't have to see them every day. But you damn well want to make sure you can contact them when you need them. Because we all need someone at some point in time. I know a lot of people say you don't need. You get down in the dumps bad enough, life starts hitting you in the head. As I always say, when that boulder comes out of nowhere and hits you in the back of the neck, you're going to need somebody to help you refocus and get you back up if you're down for too long. Somebody has to come along and see that you're down. And at that point, you're going to need their help. Take it. Being bold is not being ashamed and afraid to ask for help when you need it. There's nothing wrong with asking for help, especially if you've already valued yourself enough where part of your life is accepting that you should be helping people as much as as often as you can, as much as you can. No one says you have to give away your house to someone. We're talking about little deeds every day to help. So you don't feel horrible for asking for help because you know you've earned the right to ask. That's what being bold is all about. That positive energy. You're assuring yourself, I have the right to ask for help when I'm down because I need it right now. And all I need is a little help. I'm not asking for much. I can help myself with the bigger stuff. I just need a little help in hand. Try that when you feel like you haven't earned the right to ask. It's a completely different mindset. Completely different mindset. When you know you haven't earned the right to have people of value in your life, that's not a good feeling when those people are helping you anyway. Because we all know what happens when you accept that help and you keep doing it over and over and over again. You turn into a person that nobody wants to be around. Sure, that person of value, well, they'll help you a little bit. After a while, they'll come to their senses and understand that you're not bringing any more value to their life. You're taking advantage. You're being weak. You're afraid to help yourself get through it. Being bold does not mean you have to be some type of intense, out of control buffoon, saying whatever that pops into your mind, doing whatever you feel like your heart is telling you to do, making bad decisions, not caring about others, not listening to others, treating people like they're beneath you. All those things can be looked at as bold as well. That's the negative light of it. Being bold in that sense does make you arrogant. It does make you a narcissist. It does make you feel as if you can say whatever and do whatever. You have some bully qualities in there. That doesn't make you a good person. That doesn't make you a person somebody wants in their life. You will find yourself alone. There is a line. There is a line. You can be adventurous. You can be confident. But there is a line. Sometimes I think in life, we fail to sit back and realize a few important things when it comes to who you are, your spirit, how others see you, your essence. It is an extremely important part of your life. When you get to a point in your life where you feel like when you walk in a room, people genuinely enjoy talking to you, they're not walking away from you, they're walking towards you, you are helping people, you feel comfortable throughout your entire day. You know you're making the right decisions. You're not lying to people. You're not being unassertive. You're doing the things that you were meant to do, but at the same time, you're doing the things that you like to do in your own free time. You're not codependent. You can survive in this world on your own. You're continuing to learn, and you're loving yourself enough to the point where other people benefit from you being alive. That is being bold. That's what the brave never fall is all about. Getting yourself to a point where you are a strong force of nature. You are a being that's going to be remembered after you're gone. Your essence, the person you are, is vivid. You're full of color. You're full of all the things that make up what this world is all about. The world, Earth, Mother Earth is a beautiful place. It has so many things that we can visit, admire, adore, and love and appreciate. She also needs to be protected. You are no different. You were born on this world, so you are this world. That sun on that horizon is beautiful. It's far away, but it's beautiful. You're no different. You're going to have your ups and downs, your light days, your dark days. You're still going to shine. You're always shining. You're connected to this earth. You're connected to that sun, that moon. You are never in darkness. The moon takes over where the sun goes away. There's always light. You have to be bold enough to take life for what it is and make something out of it when nobody thought you had a chance. You have to be bold enough to believe you can do practically anything in this world. You have to believe you can manifest the most improbable thing out of essentially nothing. That is a gift. People do it all the time, but you have to be patient. You cannot sit back and accept that other people don't believe in you, so you shouldn't believe in you. You can't take the words of other people as gospel. No one knows you better than you know yourself. Be bold. Be you. Be the most genuine person you could ever be. Be the best version of yourself you can ever be. Being bold means you know who you are, and you will fight for who you are and your boundaries that you set for yourself. You're going to fight for the self-love you have for yourself. You're going to fight for the value that you bring to this world. And you're going to fight for everything that's important in your life because that's your purpose. You were here for a reason. After you're long gone, you were here for a reason. You have to find that. That's your purpose. That's why you need to be bold. If no one else has told you this today, I love you. You deserve to hear that. Salute to you all. The brave never fall.